Craig Dickman, welcome to Coffee and CEOs.
Culture is one of those things that I think if you don't pay attention to it and nurture it and make conscious decisions about it, it will evolve, but it may evolve in a way that detaches from who the company is.
So you have a really fascinating company and you've had an incredible growth curve. Can you just kind of walk people through where you started and where you guys are today?
Sure, I'd be happy to. So the company is called Breakthrough Fuel, and what we do is we manage the energy that companies use to move products to market. When you look at it, about a third of the cost of moving products is the underlying energy, and we really saw an opportunity to manage that in a way that could create a competitive advantage. And we tend to work with large companies who have a lot of products, so companies like Procter & Gamble and Unilever and John Deere, companies like that. And we focus on reducing the cost, consumption, and emissions associated with those movements.
So, what do you attribute a lot of your success to? Obviously, innovation. You guys are consistently innovative, but what do you contribute your success to?
Well, the innovation is an important part, and so when you think about, I started the company in 2004, and it was really an idea. And it was 17 months from the time we started Breakthrough Fuel to the point that anyone became a customer. So we spent time thinking about what's the culture we want. We started thinking about, as we become successful, what do we want to do? And it was interesting, in that time frame, we set an objective that we wanted to make sure we always had a new product every 14 months. The 14 months at the time was somewhat arbitrary, but what was more important is the idea that we couldn't have a big idea go to the marketplace and that was going to be good enough, that we had to build a culture, process, the organization around the idea that we want to constantly generate new ideas and bring them out into the market.
Sure.
And that's really been a key part of our growth, because sometimes people look at growth of how much can you add from a customer base. Ours has been just important by retaining the customer base. So when I think about it, the first 15 customers, whoever were Breakthrough Fuel customers, are still clients today.
Yeah. Last time you and I talked, you mentioned that you don't have typical HR at your place. In fact, you never wanted it.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, so two things we don't have is we don't have HR and we don't have policies. I fundamentally don't believe in HR, fundamentally don't believe in policies, because most of the time what they do is they kind of restrict individuals' abilities to work, and it creates rules and it creates boxes and job descriptions, and the whole thing is about limiting and compliance and conformity. And in organizations like us, that's not what you want. You want them to play to their strengths. So there's really two reasons. So that's one. The second thing is, for us, I've always found it fascinating and frustrating that you'd see organizations that would talk about themselves in the marketplace one way and try to represent who they were, and then behave very, very differently inside the organization.
Exactly.
And there is huge disconnects.
Experience, right?
Absolutely. And there's so many times even that I've walked into another company, and it could have been that I was selling them, and you'd walk in and you'd just tell from the look and the feel and the way people acted and the way people dressed and the way people behaved and the way the environment was, that they weren't who they were saying they were.
Sure.
And so for us, having that exact same feel, whether you're outside looking at the company, whether you're a customer, whether you're in the marketplace, or whether you're inside assessing whether you want to become part of our team, we wanted to have a very constant and continual and consistent feel. So we've created something we call the Breakthrough Experience.
Yeah.
So the Breakthrough Experience for us is, what does it mean to interact with Breakthrough on any level, from the market back to the core company? And so we have one team that does all of the go-to-market, marketing work, anything that we're doing in the marketplace around the brand, and that same team brings the brand into the people process and kind of who we are, and it creates a real continual feel of who we are.
So forward
and I think that alignment
absolutely
is so important, and is one of the reasons why it's easy to connect the people with the work.
So one of the unique things I've seen with your company that we don't see at a lot of our clients is you have someone specifically dedicated to culture. Why did you do that, and what kind of realm do they oversee?
Well, I think the thing that we recognized is, culture is just an important part of who we are and what we offer the marketplace, as our technology is, as our data science team is, as any other area. And culture is one of those things that I think if you don't pay attention to it and nurture it and make conscious decisions about it, it will evolve, but it may evolve in a way that detaches from who you want to be, or detaches from who the company is. And so by keeping actively working and actively managing the culture, I think what it does is give us a chance to both maintain the strong core of who we are, and at the same time it gives us a chance to recognize, culture also has to evolve. Sure. Because you can't be doing the exact same things you were doing in 48 countries than you were in one.
Culture is not a policy.
Culture is not a policy. It's not static.
Right.
And so if you don't have somebody thinking about, okay, where does this take us next and what are the implications, then you're likely at some point going to evolve into something that you may look back at and not like.